friends. This morning we are going to continue to read in the book of Acts, which describes what happened after the resurrection. The risen Christ passed the mantle to his students, making them apostles or teachers, graduates of the Jesus School, and sent them out to spread the good news that God's love is stronger than death. The book of Acts describes this mission work, how Peter and Paul and the others told the stories, gathered the people, and built a movement throughout the Roman Empire. Last week, we read a story about Peter, based in Palestine, where he was up on that roof praying and had a vision by the Holy Spirit. A vision that told Peter that he needed to widen the circle beyond the Jewish community to include non-Jews or Gentiles in the Jesus movement. This week, we turn our attention to Paul, also named Saul, and to Barnabas, apostles traveling through Roman Asia, which is modern-day Turkey. Now, in the church at Antioch, there were prophets and teachers: Barnabas, Simeon, who was called Niger, Lucius of Cyrene, Manaen, a member of the court of Herod the ruler, and Saul. And while they were worshiping the Lord and fasting, the Holy Spirit said, "Set apart for me Barnabas and Saul for the work to which I have called them." Then, after fasting and praying, they laid their hands on them and sent them off.
In Lystra, there was a man sitting who could not use his feet and had never walked, for he had been crippled from birth. He listened to Paul as he was speaking, and Paul looked at him intently, and seeing that he had faith to be healed, said in a loud voice, "Stand upright on your feet." And the man sprang up and began to walk. When the crowd saw what Paul had done, they shouted in the Lycaonian language, "The gods have come down to us in human form." Barnabas they called Zeus, and Paul they called Hermes, because he was the chief speaker. The priest of Zeus, whose temple was just outside the city, brought oxen and garlands to the gates. He and the crowds wanted to offer sacrifice. When the apostles Barnabas and Paul heard of it, they tore their clothes and rushed out into the crowd shouting, "Friends, why are you doing this? We are mortals just like you, and we bring you good news that you should turn from these worthless things to the living God, who made the heaven and the earth and the sea and all that is in them." In past generations, God allowed all the nations to follow their own ways. Yet he has not left himself without a witness in doing good, giving you rains from heaven and fruitful seasons, and filling you with food and your hearts with joy. Even with these words, they scarcely restrained the crowds from offering sacrifice to them. Amen.